defense for Spanish Fork. The pitcher, number 11, Cy Nielsen, catching number 7, Josh Cowden. At first base, number 24, Dylan Lee. At second base, number 23, Dylan Hall. At third base, number 14, Tay Newman. The shortstop.
Welcome to today's high school baseball game. This 4A Utah High School Baseball State game here in Hurricane, Utah. We are about to start round 1 of the state playoffs between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Pineview Panthers. So, Elliot Sharp's here with Andrew LaRose. Andrew, what do you expect to see today in today's game?
Oh, man, I'm expecting to see, hopefully, a lot of runs for the Spanish Fork Dons. I'm also expecting a great performance from this kid right here on the mound, Cy Nielsen. Nielsen has been super effective this season, has been the best pitcher so far for the Dons. He, as I said here, 1.40 ERA, 4-2 on the season, 9 appearances. Pitched 35 innings for the team, but, the batters are batting .143 against him. What an impressive season for the young junior.
And that first pitch is a ball outside. And another pitch low brings the count to 2-0. The leadoff hitter for the Pineview Panthers today is the freshman shortstop, Hunter Stubbs. And another pitch low from Cy as he falls behind 3-0.
Not the best start here for Cy. Hopefully he can be able to calm down here. Just get one over the plate.
And a fastball right down the middle brings the count to 3-1.
Just what the doctor ordered there for Nielsen. Still a hitter's count here for Stubbs. 250 average on the year.
And that ball is a single up the middle, and that is a leadoff base runner here for the Panthers. We'd like to take a moment to go through the starting lineup for the Panthers today. As you just saw there, Hunter Stubbs, the shortstop, is leading off today. Batting second, Roman Lefemina, the second baseman. Batting third is Tanner Staley, the pitcher today as well. Cody Riddle will be playing third and batting fourth. Dawson Staley will play center and bat fifth. Weston Sampson will catch and bat sixth. Luke Green, 7th, Porter Dombrowski 8th, and Jaeger Crosby will round out the lineup batting 9th. And that ball is fouled off to the right side to bring the count even at 1-1.
Lefemina is one of the better hitters for Pineview. He's actually batting .406 on the season. Very, very impressive. Has 26 hits, 22 runs, a couple RBIs on the season with 8. Definitely a good hitter here for Pineview.
And he scores around a run, but pulls back, and a nice block there by Josh Cowden. The throw down to first. Dylan Lee applies the tag, but he is safe. Hunter Stubbs gets back safely.
Always a scary play there around the plate when you're bobbling it around. Nice job to be able to still throw it down, and potentially have made a play there over at first, but looks like Lefemina gets another hack.
He squares around a bunt again and fouls it off over the Dons dugout to bring the count even at 2-2. Lefemina not able to get the bunt down there and move the runner over in this situation.
Yeah, it looks like they'll most likely go ahead and pull the bunt away. Just go ahead and let him swing. Obviously, they wanted to advance that runner to second, but hey, maybe for them he can still swing it and get him over there.
And that pitch is a little bit low, and that will bring the count even. A nice take there by Lefemina.
Nielsen a little bit wild in this one, not really finding the plate as well as he has in some past starts.
And that ball is fouled back to keep the count even. Yeah, last week when he pitched against Lehigh, he only threw 2 innings, striking out 5 batters over those 2 innings, but he only had 1 3-ball count in those entire 2 innings. Today he already has 2, so definitely struggling a little bit with control here today in the early batters. And that pitch is low, and that is a walk, and we will have runners on first and second here with nobody out.
Then that draws a walk.
A nice patient approach there by Lefemina, making Nielsen throw to him. And it looks like we're going to have a visit here from the pitching coach. Probably talk Cy down here a little bit erratic in these first couple of bats.
Yeah, coming in on the year, he had only had 16 walks in 35 innings pitched. So walks have been very rare for Nielsen, but it's the state tournament. Things happen, and maybe it's a little bit of those early game jitters he's got going on.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's a junior. Like, this could be, one of those few times that he's had some high leverage opportunity here, like pitching, starting off the state playoffs for the team. So, I mean, certainly he's probably a little amped up. The adrenaline's going, the nerves are going, and so maybe just needs to be talked down, calmed down a little bit. Probably a good move there.
And the batter now for the Panthers is Tanner Staley. Staley is the senior, and he's also pitching for the Panthers today.
Always fun seeing these pitcher-on-pitcher matchups.
And he looks at the runners back, but there's no throw.
I just want to make sure they don't get too much of a lead. Obviously, first inning here, want to keep those runners close, keep them from potentially advancing extra bases.
And Staley squares around like he's going to bunt and then pulls back. Squares around again and fouls it back and brings the count to 0-1.
Number 3 hitter for the Pineview Panthers, Staley, is a .305 hitter. He is one of the few people on their team with the home run. He's actually got 2 of them. He's got the team lead there in home runs, so certainly this is their big power bat.
And that pitch is inside to bring the count even at 1-1. Yeah, this is just the start that the Panthers were hoping for. Get a couple guys on, let their big bat come up, and hopefully get a big hit and do some early damage.
Absolutely. Yeah, anytime you can get runners on base against Nielsen, you've got to be happy about that.
And he swings and he hits it to right field. And Noah Conway comes under and makes the catch. And that is the first out here in the inning. Hunter Stubbs tagged up initially but held up, and that is the first out here in the top of the first.
Probably a smart move there. And a great play by Conway. Fairly routine fly ball, but able to charge in on it and able to make sure that the runner on second doesn't advance over the third. So a nice play there by Conway.
Cody Riddle, the senior first baseman at the plate now here with 1 out in the top of the first. And he squares around to bunt as well and pulls back and takes ball 1. 3 consecutive batters initially showing bunt.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. Very interesting choice. You'd think that maybe they'd go ahead and let their batters swing free, but they obviously know that runs are going to be at a premium in this game.
He squares around to bunt and he pops it up over the Pineview dugout to bring the count even at 1-1.
Riddle on the season is a .382 hitter, so again, one of the better hitters on the team. 21 hits, also has a home run to his record, so certainly a guy that does have a little bit of pop and is one of the main run producers in this lineup.
And that pitch is low and in the dirt. A nice block there by Cowden. And that brings the count to 2-1.
Cowden's a phenomenal backstop. He really has a good handle of how to block pitches behind the plate, and really kind of saves the pitchers a little bit, because we certainly called some other games where we've seen some catchers where everything is getting away from them. Cowden, on the other hand, is just a brick wall back there, which is exactly what you want for a catcher.
Yeah, last week against Lehigh we saw that a lot. 3 runs came in on passed balls, so that really hurt Lehigh. And that pitch is a strike on the outside corner to bring the count to 2-2 on Riddle. Riddle is the cousin of the previous hitter, the pitcher of today, Tanner Staley.
Nice. It's a bit of a family reunion, I guess.
The next hitter on deck, Dawson Staley, also.
I wonder who he's related to. Man, it's just one big happy family over there for Pineview.
A family affair in the 3-4-5 slot.
That's right.
And that pitch is low and in the dirt. And another nice block by Cowden over there as the count goes full. Cowden earning his earning his money here early.
Absolutely, and it's a hot day out there, folks. Like, to be in all that catcher's equipment and to be able to still do your job well in this kind of heat, very good job.
And he swings through it, and that is strike 3. The first strikeout of the day for Nielsen. And that is back-to-back outs after a leadoff single to Stubbs and a walk by LaFemina.
Yeah, definitely a lot better there for Nielsen. That's the Cy Nielsen we're used to seeing. Getting that high fastball up in the zone, getting them to swing at it. That's more vintage Cy. Just being able to get it over the plate and being effective with that nice fastball.
As we mentioned a moment ago, Dawson Staley now at the plate, the senior center fielder here for the Panthers. And he holds up, and that is ball 1. He was able to check his swing there and get ahead in the count early.
It's always hard because you want to kind of rip right at that first pitch. You got to be a little more patient. So good job there by Staley.
And that pitch is quite a bit up and away to bring the count to 2-0 here.
Once again, these hitters are working themselves into good, favorable counts here against Nielsen, which is exactly what you're going to need to do. You got to make him pitch strikes if you're going to get to him.
And that pitch is fouled back to bring the count to 2-1. Yeah, lots of long at bats so far for the Panthers, and that bodes well as it's a long game, 7-inning game. If you can get him to throw lots of pitches early, there's a good chance you're able to get him out of the game.
Absolutely, and that's definitely what they're looking for. Get to the Dons bullpen as opposed to dealing with Nielsen for forever.
And that ball is hit to center field, and it will drop for a base hit, and a run will come in to score. Stubbs comes in to score. LaFemina is over to third, and a big RBI single for Dawson Staley to open the scoring today.
It's a fantastic piece of hitting there by Staley, able to push that one out into center field, get it out into the favorable spot out in the gap, and able to get the runner from second on home. Nice piece of hitting there.
Yeah, it looked like Cy for a minute there was going to be able to work out of a jam after giving first and second with nobody on and getting back-to-back outs, but Dawson Staley was having none of it.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was right there on that one.
And the fastball right there for strike 1 to the senior catcher, Weston Sampson.
Sampson's a .275 hitter on the season with 14 hits.
And that pitch is low and in the dirt to bring the count to 1-1.
Well, it's also got to be, to an extent, it also kind of has to be a bit of a relief for Nielsen. Like, you don't have to be perfect. And so sometimes you're going to get that first run across, and maybe you see that one get across, take a little breather. It's like, okay, don't have to be perfect, just go.
And that pitch is swung on, and the runner Staley moves over to second. There's just second and third now here with 2 outs. 1 and 2 now to Sampson, but he has a good RBI opportunity here. A base hit drives in 2.
Oh, absolutely. And you're licking your chops. Anytime you can, as I've said, if you can get out in front here against Nielsen, that is certainly not going to be favorable for the Dons and definitely a boon for the Panthers.
And he swings and he gets a base hit through the left side. That'll score 1. And the second one will come around as well. And he will score safely a 2 RBI single for Weston Sampson as both Staley and LaFemina come in to score.
Sampson able to find that sweet spot, able to find that gap between third and shortstop, shoots it through, and as you said, had that nice RBI opportunity. He certainly pulled through for the Panthers on that one.
Speed up runner for Pineview, number 1, Daniel Elder.
And on first we have a pinch runner, Daniel Elder. At the plate now, the third baseman, Luke Green. And that pitch hit him, and the umpire is awarding him first base. So a really rough start here for Nielsen, hitting batters, walking batters, and then a couple timely hits for the Panthers really helped them put up 3 runs here early in the top of the first.
Yeah, it's been an unfortunate start here for Nielsen. The junior looks a little bit more more shaken up than I kind of expected him to be. But I mean, you just getting out here, and he's able to get out of the inning. So hopefully, you know, take a deep breath, realize that you just got to get that one out. Just get one more.
And a swing and a miss from the 8-hitter Porter Dombrowski. Dombrowski is the senior left fielder here for the Panthers. And a nice pitch catches the inside corner to bring the count to 0-2.
There we go. Nielsen looking a little more confident here in this particular at bat. See what he does here with the 0-2 count. See if he can't maybe try to get him to chase something out of the zone.
And that pitch is a little outside to bring the count to 1-2. Pretty good pitch there, but just couldn't quite get him to chase.
Yeah, not bad. It was a good thought, and that's the idea, is maybe nibble at the corners a little bit here while you're still got a favorable count.
And he swings and misses, and that is the second strikeout of the inning, and that will retire the side here in the top of the first. But not before the damage is done. 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 runners left on base, and the Pineview Panthers take a 3-0 lead here after the first half inning. As we head to the bottom half now, we'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsors, the Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza. Well, the Panthers got exactly what they hoped for there in the top half, scoring 3 runs on 3 hits and really getting to Cy Nielsen. And now Tanner Staley, the senior pitcher for the Panthers, is taking them out. Tell me what you've seen from Staley so far this year.
Staley's certainly been one of Pineview's better pitchers. He's been very effective for them thus far. He's a nice right-hander. He's the one that they're like, hey, if we need someone that's going to give us a good quality start, Staley's the one that's going to be able to do it for them. He's been a great one. So certainly, I think Staley's going to be one that's at least going to be competitive here with Nielsen, and that was the idea, is they want to at least give themselves a shot here against the Dons. And hey, he's already got 3 runs in his favor, so if he's able to control this Dons lineup, this is definitely a winnable game here for Staley.
We'd like to remind you that this is the first round of the Utah 4A state tournament, and the second round will be happening later today. Spanish Fork will have a game at 2 p.m. today over at Pineview High School. We don't know the opponent yet. It'll either be Bear River or Tooele, depending on who wins the game today and that one as well. But it's a fun start to the state tournament.
Yeah, not the start that I was expecting, but certainly gives the Dons an opportunity to be able to show off the bats, get themselves going here. You know, gets the adrenaline going when the other team puts up a 3 spot early on.
Yeah, leading off for the Dons is the junior third baseman, Tay Newman. And Newman takes the ball upstairs to bring the count to 1-0. Newman's been the leadoff hitter for much of the year for the Dons, and he's really done a good job of getting on base.
He really is. He's been a great table setter.
He takes that outside for ball 2. Newman is hitting .368 on the year, so you see why he's in that leadoff spot. And the fastball for strike 1.
Yeah, Newman does a great job of getting things started for the Dons. See if he can get it started right here.
And he drives one to center field, but the center fielder looks like he's got a beat on it, gets under it and makes a nice play, and Dawson Staley makes the play.
It's a good piece of hitting there by Newman, but unfortunately it is right in the vicinity of that center fielder. Center fielder gets right under it. Unfortunately, don't get that leadoff runner, but hey, it brings up Pintar, though.
Yeah, the junior shortstop, Andrew Pintar, at the plate now. And he takes that pitch for a strike. We'd like to take a moment to take you through our starting lineup today. Newman, as you just saw, was the batting leadoff. Pintar batting second. Pintar batting second. Josh Cowden is hitting third today, as Pintar hits a grounder to short, and a nice play over there by Hunter Stubbs, throws him out, and that is quick 1-2 for the Dons here in the bottom half.
Yeah, a little bit of nothing doing there for the shortstop. That's about as routine as it gets right there. Gets his feet nice and set, makes a nice throw over to first, and that's out number 2.
As I said a moment ago, Josh Cowden at the plate now, the senior catcher. Batting fourth today is Nielsen, Dylan Lee fifth, Dylan Hall sixth. And that ball is a single through the, oh, they're going to try to throw him out at first, and he just beats it out. And a nice base hit for Josh Cowden to get the first base hit for the Dons today.
Yeah, that's certainly something you don't see every day. The right fielder trying to get the out at first. But, hey, I mean, might as well give it a shot. Nice piece of hitting by Cowden.
Back to the lineup, rounding it out, batting seventh is Josh Dart, eighth Carson Chappell, and 9 is Riley Hess. And as you mentioned a moment ago, the pitcher, Cy Nielsen, at the plate now, looking to make up for a little bit of a rough top half with his turn at the plate now.
He certainly could use it here. A bit of a 2-out rally is just what the doctor would order here for the Dons.
And that pitch is outside for ball 1. Cy is hitting .333 on the year over 23 games. So not only is he great on the mound, but he's also got a great bat as well. He swings in, fouls that one back.
Yeah, one of those strong two-way players. You're seeing a lot more of those nowadays. You got Shohei Ohtani over with the Angels. A couple of guys in this previous draft in Major League Baseball said, hey, I'm only going to play if I'm going to be a two-way player. So you're seeing a lot more of this where you've got them being able to be great pitchers but are also capable over at the plate.
And he swings at the fastball up for strike 2. And Tanner Staley looks really strong so far.
Yeah, as he's been in command of his pitches. He's used the fastball very well, but he's also been able to use the breaking ball effectively as well. So it's been a nice start here so far for Staley and for the Panthers.
And he swings and misses, and that is the first strikeout of the day, and a quick inning for the Panthers, just what the doctor ordered in the bottom half. And that is 0 runs on 1 hit, 1 runner left on base. And after 1 inning here in the first round of the 4A Utah High School State Tournament, it is the Pineview Panthers 3 and the Spanish Forks Dons 1. We'll be back in a minute.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17 in this presentation of the first game of the 4A state playoffs with the Spanish Fork Dons and the Pineview Pioneers. The score is currently 3-0. Pineview was able to get 3 runs in on Cy Nielsen, and Tanner Staley was able to have an effective first half of the bottom of the first there for the Pineview Panthers. Really solid outing thus far for him. Elliot, what do you think Cy Nielsen needs to do here to kind of get things going, get him calmed down?
You know, I think as a junior, he hasn't had a ton of opportunities to pitch in big games like this so far in his career. And, you know, the regular season's one thing, but when you get to the state tournament, it's a whole new thing. And double elimination tournament, but you definitely don't want to lose that first game, and there's a lot of stress coming in. And Cy really just needs to settle down, make sure that he's throwing his pitches, because that first inning he was getting behind almost every single batter.
Yeah, he just needs to throw some strikes here, which unfortunately that one was not. That is ball 1 to Teager Crosby, the right fielder for the Panthers.
And Jager takes that for a strike to bring the count to 1-1.
Nielsen is once again just cruising right through. Not a lot of break in between pitches here, as that one is a ball. That one is laced down the right field line over the fence and foul. Brings the count to 2-2. And that one is laced over to short. Pintar gets the throw on over to first, and that is out number 1 for Nielsen here in the top of the second.
Crosby grabs out.
Yeah, nice job by Pintar to
Number 39.
charge that ball, catch it on the big hop, and make a nice throw over there for the quick first out here in the top of the second.
Yeah, nice bit of work there for Nielsen as now we move back on over to the top of the order for the Panthers. Got Hunter Stubbs at the shortstop. He takes that one for ball 1. Cruising right on in for strike 1. Nielsen wasting no time here in the top of the second. He gets that one fouled off.
Yeah, we noticed this last Thursday as well against Lehigh that he does not take much time on the mound in between pitches.
No, he doesn't. He's just like, boom, I've got it, ready to go, ready to fire, and he is right back there, ready to fire on this 1-2 count. And that one doesn't miss by much, and that is ball 2.
And the umpires really had a tight strike zone today. That last pitch was really just right on the corner, and on a lot of days that may have been a strike, but this umpire consistently has been really tight on both ends.
That one is ball 3. And I mean, honestly, like, as long as it's consistent, I don't mind. And so as long as he just keeps that tight zone for both pitchers, it's fine. There's the full count. Oh, and instead he rings them up for strike 3. And that's 3 strikeouts now for Nielsen.
And after having a tight strike zone for much of the day, that last pitch right there, he opened it up a little bit and gave him the nice friendly call.
Certainly did. Hunter Stubbs did not like that one. He was already halfway down to first. And that is ball 1 there to Roman Lefemina.
Lefemina worked a free pass back in the first inning and really helped to get that inning going.
Nielsen working here on the count. Big cut. Just tips that one off there.
And a ground ball past the third baseman, Tay Newman, for a base hit.
That's a great piece of hitting there by Lefemina, able to have a nice approach there on the 2-strike count. Shoots it through the gap. Brings up Tanner Staley. Once again, got the pitcher-on-pitcher matchup. Two outs here in the top of the second inning. Pineview Panthers over the Spanish Fork Dons 3-0. As that one is grooved on in there for strike 1 to Staley.
If you watch right here, the second that the batter steps into the box, it's almost like immediately side comes set. He's making that pitch, and there's not much time for the batter to get comfortable in the box. He's really trying to make them feel uncomfortable there, but so far they've been doing just fine.
Yeah, so far they've been just ready to go, which, I mean, he's been ready to go, so they've had to be. It's like they'll step out here for a little bit, Shane will get himself set back up here. Here was the 1-1 count. That one squirts away from Cowden, and that advances Lefemina on over to second base.
That ball actually hit the dirt and then bounced up and hit Staley, and so it's going to advance. It's going to be a hit by pitch.
It's going to be a hit by pitch.
And Lefemina will move over to second. Staley move on to first, and we got 2 on here with 2 outs, and another good opportunity for the Panthers to pick up a few more runs here.
Brings up first baseman Cody Riddle. Cody struck out in his first at-bat against Nielsen. They'll take that one inside and low for ball 1. digs back in there. Nielsen gets ready. That one doesn't miss by much, and that is ball 2. Nielsen steps off.
Nielsen again behind 2-0, and the hitter in a good count.
That one is low for ball 3. Riddle has worked himself into a 3-0 count. Runners on first and second, so the Panthers are once again threatening here in the top of the second with an opportunity here for Riddle to potentially get another run here against Nielsen. And he will take his base on that one. That was 4 straight balls to Cody Riddle, and that'll load the bases up.
Yeah, that's the second walk today for Nielsen. He also had a hit batter back in the first inning, and he's really been wild. That's 5 3-ball counts that he's had so far today. So really falling behind in hitters, and even when he's not walking the batters, he's getting these hitters in good hitting situations, and they've been able to take advantage with timely 2-out hits and jump on to a quick 3-0 lead here.
Yeah, much more favorable pitching counts here for the Pineview Panthers than Nielsen had been giving up here this year. It's been a game where he just really needs to just find the plate. Give yourself an opportunity to at least get some strikes and build yourself into more favorable matchups. As that brings up the other Dawson Staley, center fielder.
Yeah, similar to last inning, Dawson came up with 2 outs and had a big opportunity. At that time, he had a 2 RBI single that really was the big hit of the inning that brought the lead from 1-0 to 3-0. So this is another good opportunity for Staley to extend the lead and really put the hurt on the Dons.
Have a 1-0 count here. Takes a big hack at it, but misses for strike 1. This seems like it's going to be a big turning point here in this game, potentially, if Staley's able to break this one loose. And that one is in there for strike 2. Nielsen's finally worked himself into a nice count here. Got the 2 strikes here on Staley. Let's see what kind of approach he's got here with the 1-2 count. That one is low for ball 2. Two-two count here in the top of the second with Staley up, and the bases are loaded for the Panthers. He lines that one foul, able to stay alive here in this at-bat. This is really turning into a very key at-bat here in this game. Staley up with the bases loaded and potentially ready to break this one open. Instead, he swings through it, and that is strike 3. That is strikeout number 4 for Nielsen as he's able to get out of the bases loaded jam here in the top of the second. The score is still 3-0, Pineview over Spanish Fork, as we move on over to the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, 1 run. I mean, no runs there on 1 hit, a couple walks, but 3 runners left on base. And if the Dons are able to kind of gain some footing and come back in this game, I think we'll look back to this moment, because the Panthers could have taken a huge lead right here. Already up 3-0, bases loaded. One of their better hitters at the plate, but they were unable to do so, and that was a big out for Nielsen.
Absolutely. Nielsen needed that one desperately. As we'd like to remind you that we do have a live game on Monday. We actually have a doubleheader. This is for softball. The Lady Dons are going to be playing the Canyon View Falcons in the state playoffs.
Yeah, first and second round of the playoffs. They'll be held in Spanish Fork, so tune in as we have another couple state games coming up next Monday.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy week here for the Dons, not only for baseball but also for softball. We'd also like to take this time to remind you of our wonderful sponsors, the Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, State Farm, Lance Wilson, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, attorneys at law, MVP Sports, and 2 Jack's Pizza.
Well, coming into today's game, the Dons were 17-8, 11-1 in region play, the number 1 seed in their region. Pineview was the 4 seed in their region, coming at 5-7 in their region and 12-8-1 overall. So definitely the weaker team, hence the 4 seed, but they've really come out and hit the Dons in the mouth early.
They absolutely have. It's been a very, very impressive game so far for the Panthers. That is strike one to the first baseman, Dylan Lee, the senior for the Dons. Able to check a swing on that one as that one is outside for ball 1.
Coming into today's game, both of these teams were on winning streaks, 2 in a row for Pineview and 6 in a row for Spanish Fork. So both of these teams have been winning lately.
Yeah, both teams coming in hot. As that pitch was coming in hot, and that is strike 2 to Dylan Lee. Dylan Lee getting himself reassessed here with this 1-2 count. Staley gets ready to deliver here. Looks like Lee's able to check his swing there a little bit high, and that's ball 2. Tanner Staley so far has been very effective here for the Panthers, and he'd love to get this leadoff out here. And he's able to do just that as Lee swings through that one for strike 3.
Yeah, second consecutive strikeout. Struck out the final hitter last inning, and then got Lee to start off this inning, and he's looked strong so far.
A very impressive outing so far for Tanner Staley. Brings up Dylan Hall, the second baseman. That one is ball 1. Good take there by Hall. And that is going to be strike 1. Beautiful paint job there by Staley. Works the count even to 1-1 here for Dylan Hall. He's able to rip that one, and that is going to be fair. And Dylan Hall is on his horse, and he is heading into second. And he pulls up, looks like he was thinking about third base. Instead, he holds up, and he's got himself a nice double.
Double for Hall brings to bat the designated hitter, number 15, Josh Dart.
It's a fantastic piece of hitting there by Dylan Hall, able to stay back on that one, shoot it the other way, shoot it out into right, and just gets it inside the foul line there. And so nice piece of hitting by Hall, and we've got a runner in scoring position. The Dons potentially have something going here in the bottom of the second. Brings up the designated hitter, Josh Dart. He takes that one for strike 1.
The double for Hall was his 9th double on the year.
Nice, almost got double-digit doubles. 0-1 count here to Cowden. Not Cowden, sorry, Josh Dart. They both bat left-handed. Throwing me off. Both big boys, both certainly capable of putting a hurt on the ball. So the first real trouble here for Tanner Staley in this game. See how he reacts to the little bit of pressure here with the runner on second. That one is up and out of play.
Dart is hitting .294 on the year over 18 games. He has 10 hits and 12 RBIs.
Certainly a respectable stat line there for the designated hitter. He digs back in there for the 1-2 count. Currently 1 out in the bottom of the second. Got Dylan Hall over at second base and Tanner Staley dealing. Swings through that one.
And it is fouled back to keep the count at 1-2.
I was about to say, I was like, he's just kind of standing there. I would think that if he'd swung through it, it'd be strike 3. So here we go, 1-2 count. See, now that one he swings through. And that one is strike 3 as he goes down on strikes.
Staley brings to bat.
Yeah, Dart not able to get a piece of that one, and that is the second strikeout of the inning for the Panthers. Tanner Staley looking really strong so far. That 1.65 ERA, he's really living up to that bill.
Yeah, it seems like that's pretty real. The only thing that's been an issue here so far has been that double by Dylan Hall, as this now brings up Carson Chappell, left fielder for the Dons, certainly a capable hitter here in the 8-hole. He takes that one outside for ball 1.
Well, Chappell hits in the 8-hole. Don't let this deceive you. As we've talked about all year, he's got senior leadership. He is hitting .328, and he's one of the better hitters on this team. It's just really a luxury because they're so deep on offense.
Takes that one high, and they shoot that one over to second base, making sure to keep Hall close there. But he is able to slide back in safe. Brings the count to 2-0 for Carson Chappell. Working himself into a nice favorable count here. Certainly a good opportunity to find a pitch he likes. He didn't like it, but it was a strike. And that moves the count to 2-1.
Yeah, beautiful breaking ball right there from Staley, dropping it in, and Chappell didn't like it, and so he still got a good count.
That's right, 2-1 is still a good count here for him. Staley's able to get that one in there for strike 2. So that is a 2-2 count here for Chappell in the bottom of the second with 2 outs and a runner on second. All about the 2s right now. Chappell calls timeout. Clear the head a bit, adjust the gloves. Digs back in there for this key 2-2 pitch. And he swings right through it for strike 3. A nice fastball there by Tanner Staley, and that is 3 strikeouts in this particular inning for Staley, as he's able to keep the runner on second. That double by Hall ends up not being anything, and we still have a 3-0 score here after the bottom of the second. Thank you so much for being with us here on Spanish 417, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Hi, welcome to Two Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
And welcome back here in the top of the third in this first round of the Utah 4A High School State Tournament. This game is being played at Hurricane High School. Because of weather up in Spanish Fork, we are unable to have the first and second rounds played there. So Spanish Fork Dons are playing as the home team here in Hurricane against the Pine View Panthers, and it's 3-0 as we head to the third, and a ground ball over to Newman. Newman makes a nice throw over there to Lee, and that's a quick first out as the senior catcher, Weston Sampson, grounds out to third for the first out here in the top of the third.
Yeah, Weston going after that first pitch by Nielsen. He gets a little bit out in front of it, rolls it over to third base. Newman makes a nice play, slices it on over to first base, and, 1 pitch, 1 out. It's about as effective as it gets.
And a fastball for strike 1 to the junior third baseman, Luke Green. That pitch is low and inside to bring the count even. So far today, there have not been many quick outs for Cy. So getting that first pitch, first out, has definitely got to be a good feeling.
Well, it's got to be a huge thing for Nielsen, just getting that first out in the inning under his belt right away.
And a ground ball up the middle, and that is a base hit for Green. And just a solid single right up the middle. Great piece of hitting to take that ball the other way.
If that's exactly how you're supposed to do it. Keeps his hands right through the zone. Nothing too crazy. Doesn't try to blast it. Doesn't try to do anything much, but just, you know, get the bat on the ball, and beautiful result. He gets a single out of it.
Porter Dombrowski at the plate now here in the top of the third with a runner on first and one out. And that is a first pitch strike. Dombrowski struck out back in the first inning for the third out to kind of end that big inning.
And you know that Nielsen would love a repeat of those same results here.
And a little bloop single right down the line, and that will drop, and it will be a double. Bobbled a little bit over there in the corner, and we have second and third here with one out off the Dombrowski double, and Green moving over to third.
Yeah, it's one of those just bringing out the pitching wedge there, and it just happens to land in a spot where, you know, there's no fielders, and so just enough juice on that ball to get over the third baseman, and Dombrowski gets himself over to second base, and Green boogies himself on over to third base, and once again, the Panthers are threatening here against Nielsen.
Yeah, it really doesn't feel like it's Nielsen's day so far. Not necessarily a great hit, but placed very well, blooped right over Newman's head out into left field, and the Panthers are in business here with runners on second and third with one out.
Yeah, sometimes it's just one of those days where just everything seems to be breaking the wrong way, and unfortunately for Nielsen, it kind of is looking like one of those.
In a first pitch strike to Jager Crosby. Jager is the senior right fielder for this Panthers team.
Crosby a 250 hitter, so decent.
And he hits a ground ball to short to Pintar, and he bobbles it, and everyone will advance. A run will score, and that is a base hit for Jager Crosby to extend the lead to 4-0 here in the top of the third.
And just gets just past the reach there of Pintar. He was able to get there. Like, I mean, he certainly ranged over there, but just a bit over. Still gets a little bit of contact on the glove, but shoots it a little bit away from him, just enough to be able to have those runners advance, be able to get Green to score, Dombrowski over to third, and that's just another one of those like Lady Luck just doesn't seem to be on Nielsen's side.
Well, after another run comes in, we are going to have a pitching change here in the top of the third. Number 18, Mason Nielsen, the brother, coming in to try to stop the damage from getting much worse here.
Now pitching number 18, Mason.
Runners on the corners here, first and third with one out. Olsen will inherit those runners and hope to be able to induce a double play to get out of a jam here and avoid going down even further.
Oh, certainly. The double play is definitely in play here. Certainly, Nielsen would love nothing more than that, just to be able to get those quick 2 outs. But coming in for the Dons, Nielsen's been a very effective pitcher. Certainly, like size the one that we've been talking about today because he got the start. But Mason's no slouch either. Certainly got a nice fastball, a good breaking ball. Has been a great reliever for the Dons, and even has made a couple starts as well. So certainly a capable pitcher, and certainly has been called on to kind of stop the bleeding here for the Dons.
Yeah, if you watched our game on Monday against Lehigh, the first 2 innings was Cy, and then the next 3 or 4 were Mason. So this isn't a super rare occurrence to see something like this happening. And Mason's been a great pitcher all year with a 1.77 ERA. He's 2-1 in 7 appearances, and he has only allowed 7 earned runs over 27 2/3 innings. So definitely capable of getting the job done, but kind of being thrown in here in a tough situation in the top of the third with runners on the corners and only 1 out.
Yeah, not the cleanest situation to be thrown into, but hey, as a reliever, this is what you live for. You live for being able to be the one that puts the stop on things.
And that pitch gets away from Josh Cowden and the play at the plate, and he is out. And what a play by Cowden. And the Pineview Panthers coach is out there to argue, thinking that he got in under the slide, under the tag, but to no avail. Mason Olsen with the nice tag there.
Absolutely. Phenomenal play by Cowden to be able to get to that one and flip it over quickly over to Nielsen to be able to get that out. Man, that just potentially saved his bacon there, getting an out there. So now there's 2 outs, and it also stops that particular run from scoring too.
Jaeger Crosby did move over to second on the pitch. Now there are 2 outs. The batter still the freshman shortstop Hunter Stubbs. And that pitch is outside to bring the count to 2-0.
Stubbs was a strikeout victim in his last at bat, but also hit a single in the first.
And a 4-pitch walk to Stubbs from Mason Olson, and he has been a little bit wild here in the early going as well.
Yeah, not the best one there. 4 straight balls to Hunter Stubbs. Unfortunately, that's going to give him another base runner, and obviously Nielsen was hoping to kind of stop things, and it looks like he's kind of giving us the same thing that the other Nielsen was giving us, just a lot of balls.
Yeah, at the plate now, the junior second baseman, Roman Lefemina. Lefemina is having a nice day so far, singled back in the second and walked in the first, so he's been on base in both of his plate appearances.
Nice patient approach here by the Panthers hitters. As I've been saying, like, the way that you can get to these guys is just make them throw strikes, and they haven't been chasing anything and working themselves into very favorable hitters counts.
And that pitch is a strike to bring the count to 2-1. The Panthers currently have runners on first and second. Jaeger Crosby is on second. Hunter Stubbs is on first. 1 run already across here in the top of the third. Panthers looking to strike for more. And that pitch is hit deep to center field in the gap. And that ball is going to drop. And that will bring in at least 2. And he is going for third. And Lefemina has a triple. And 2 more runs come in for Pineview. And that is 6-0 here in the top of the third.
Triple.
Yeah, Lefemina definitely took that ball for a ride. That was in the deepest part of the ballpark there, right in that center field, left center gap. He just crushes that thing. That goes all the way to the wall. Phenomenal piece of hitting, and way to leg out the triple too. Like, certainly put the wheels on as well. That is a big hurt and a big sting for the Dons.
At the plate now for the Panthers is the senior pitcher, Tanner Staley.
Nielsen desperately needs a strike here.
And that pitch is fouled off to bring the count to 1-1. Yeah, Mason's really struggled throwing strikes today, and the Nielsen brothers just haven't been able to throw the ball across the plate well, getting behind in counts. That's been leading to walks and base runners, and then eventually they do throw a strike and it gets hit.
And it gets crushed. It gets absolutely crushed. These are not the same Nielsen brothers that we saw.
And that ball is ripped to Tay Newman at third, and a nice catch over there to end the inning, but not before 3 more runs come across, and some big damage was done. 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 runner left on base. And as we head to the bottom of the third now, it's 6-0 Panthers, and the Dons will need to get the bats going quickly if they're going to have any chance in this game.
If they're going to really, they gotta match what Pineview has done here so far. The Panthers really have come out swinging, come out crushing. But as I said, that beautiful triple there by Lefemina. It's going to be an uphill battle here for the Dons bats to get back into this game.
Yeah, Lefemina has been really impressive so far. Walk, a single, and that big 2 RBI triple in the top of the third. And as we head now to the bottom of the third, the Dons offense has a lot of work to do. We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for today's game. The Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza.
All right, well, here in the bottom of the third, looks like we're going to get Riley Hess to start things off, and then it's going to be right back to the top of the lineup.
Now batting.
We'd like to take a moment to remind you that you can watch our game on youtube.com/SpanishFork17. We will have a second game today at 2 o'clock today. We will have to move all of our camera equipment over to the new location, so bear with us if we're a little bit late on getting on air right at 2, but we will try our best to get over there as quick as possible and be ready for that game between either Bear River and Tooele, Tooele in the second round. And a leadoff ball to the senior center fielder, Riley Hess, in his first plate appearance today.
Hopefully Hess can be able to get on base here and then get the big boys up in the top of the order, someone on base to potentially drive in.
Yeah, this is a big answer inning for the Dons, as they need to really bounce back and put up at least a couple to show that they're still in this game. And a quick 3-0 count to Riley Hess, and this is something that we have not seen yet today from Tanner.
Yes, yeah, Tanner has been effective so far. I mean, he's only allowed 2 hits. He's had 4 strikeouts so far, so certainly he's been on his game. So a 3-0 count, not typical for him.
And a fastball right down the middle brings the count to 3-1. Yeah, first 3-ball count of the day for Tanner Staley. And that is a lead-off walk. Definitely not what you want to do here. If you get a big lead, you want to come back with a quick response, and just what the Dons needed to start off the bottom of the third.
Yeah, they needed that desperately. Nice job there by Hess to not chase anything, not try to be the hero. Just do what you can to get on base. A single, a double, but a walk is just as good as a hit in this sense. Just get yourself on base in any way that you can.
And a fastball up and away to Tay Newman. Newman flew out to center in his first at-bat to lead off the game. And now we're back up to the top of the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what the Dons need. They need a great at-bat here from Newman. Kind of the same thing as Hess. Just get yourself on base any way you can.
And that pitch is low and away, and Tanner Staley is losing a little bit of control here.
Yeah, like we were saying, he's been super effective thus far, and so it's just maybe losing the feel for it a little bit, not finding the strike zone, which is certainly a boon here for the Dons.
And that ball is fouled back to bring the count to 2-1. Newman on the year is batting .368 with 25 hits and 23 runs scored. So gets on base a lot early and then lets the big boys drive him in.
Newman does his job. That's what you're supposed to do as leadoff hitter. Just get yourself on base.
And the breaking ball drops in there for 2-2.
Trying to be a little bit patient here, just because Staley has been a little wild here in the bottom of the third. So Newman just trying to make him work a little bit, but now with this 2-strike count, got to shorten up the swing a little bit, kind of protect the plate, make sure that you don't potentially ground into a double play here.
And that ball is fisted foul down the left field line. Kind of jammed him on the inside there and just popped it down there.
Yeah, maybe a pitch that Newman could have held up on, but again, you're trying to protect the plate, and so maybe it was close enough that he needed to take some kind of hack at it. Good job to be able to get that one out of play and spoil it. Give yourself another chance here.
Yeah, and this ump's been a little bit all over the place today too. So if it's close, you really kind of got to swing at it, because you never know if he's going to ring you up with 2 strikes on that pitch on the corner right there.
Yeah, if you can't risk it, and that's why you got to have that good, disciplined 2-strike approach.
And he swings and hits a single to right, and the runners will move up. And we now have first and second with nobody out here as Newman starts to get this rally brewing.
That's exactly what they needed, Elliott. Again, as the leadoff hitter, Newman just needed to do what he could to get on base, and that's exactly what he did. Waited on that pitch a little bit, shoots it over second base, gets it out into the outfield grass, and I mean, he even gave has potentially the chance to have advanced to third on that one, but Hess smartly holds up on that one, but we do have those 2 runners on base.
And they will have a meeting on the mound. Pineview coach Troy Wall going out there to talk to him, trying to calm him down after a couple of base runners here with nobody out. Great at bat by the senior center fielder Riley Hess to start off this inning, to really kind of set the tone for, we're not out of this yet, we just kind of need to settle down, have good at bats, work the count a little bit more, and a senior late in at bat right there to get a leadoff walk. Then Newman the junior comes up and singles, and we have first and second here with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. And some of the big hitters coming up: Andrew Pintar, the shortstop, and then Josh Cowden, the catcher, who we all know can drive the ball far.
Absolutely. These are the guys that you need up. These are your big RBI guys. These guys coming up, the 2, the 3, the 4 hitters. These are your run producers. And so Hess and Newman doing their job to get on base. Now it's going to be up to...
And he lays down the bunt, and there is no one standing on first, and the bases are now loaded. What a great bunt by Andrew Pintar.
Phenomenal bunt. That is not something I necessarily would have called, but man, what a nice bunt there by Pintar, able to find a spot where really no one was at, and then catches them sleeping over at first base. No one was there. Able to get basically a freebie single out of that one.
A little bit of a mistake over there by the Pineview Panthers, not having a guy over on first to be able to at least get an out there. And a leadoff ball to Josh Cowden.
And you can just feel the excitement over there in the Dons dugout. They are all up on their feet. They are back in this game.
There's definitely a belief starting to brew in the Dons dugout right now. And that pitch is swung on and missed by Cowden as the count goes to 1-1. The bases are loaded here with nobody out. And the senior catcher, Cowden, to the plate. Cowden singled back in the first and had one of the Dons' 2 hits before this inning.
Yeah, isn't this the guy who won up right now? Your number 3 hitter. Cowden is the team leader in home runs. This is our big power guy. This is the guy that, if we're going to get some hurt, this is the guy that's bringing it.
And a ball up and away brings the count to 2-1. On the year, Cowden batting .388 with 5 homers and 17 RBIs.
That is, as we call in the business, not too shabby.
And he swings through it for strike 2 to bring the count even at 2-2. He was swinging for the fences right there.
Absolutely was. Got stars in his eyes. Just wants to pummel this one over the fence. But again, need to be a little more disciplined here. Just think about it. You've got to come back with 6 runs here. I know that it's tempting that one swing brings in 4, but hey, just a good swing brings in 2. So think about that. If you happen to get good contact, get it over the fence, great. But just stay within yourself. Don't get crazy with it. Don't try to pummel the ball. Just try to get the ball in play. Give yourself a chance.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to get 6 runs on one swing, so it's got to come one at bat at a time. And the first 3 hitters this inning have definitely done their job setting the table for Cowden, but he's got to be patient as well here on 2-2.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. 2-strike approach here, shorten the swing up.
And he swings through it for the strikeout, and that is the first out of the inning and a big out for Tanner Staley and the Panthers.
That was a great pitch by Staley. He really challenged Cowden on that one. Still went with the fastball, elevated it a little bit, and he was able to get Cowden to swing on it.
And there is 1 out now in the bottom of the third. The bases are still loaded, and Tanner Staley still has quite the next few hitters to deal with, as Cy Nielsen and Dylan Lee are the next 2 hitters to come to the plate.
Yeah, having to deal with the 4 and 5 hitters next here.
And Nielsen swings through it for strike 1.
Nielsen may have disappointed a little bit on the mound, but certainly can make up for it here by getting a base hit, get his team charged up, and maybe potentially with a hit here get 1 or 2 runs across.
And he swings and he slams it down the line, but it will go just foul. And he got all of that one, but it is a strike, and it is now 0-2 to Nielsen.
Ah, the long strike, the long, loud strike. That one always hurts. Because you did. He got all of that one, folks. He really crushed that one, but was just a bit ahead of it, pulled it just a bit too far, and it slices over their foul down that left field line.
Now, on the year for Cy, he's batting .333 with 3 homers and 20 RBIs with 11 extra base hits.
Certainly would love an extra base hit right here. That would score 2, even potentially score the run over at first as well.
And that ball is outside to bring the count to 1-2.
Nielsen doing a nice job there. Don't expand the zone on yourself. Still stay within yourself. Still make sure that you're protecting the plate, but don't chase anything too crazy.
And that pitch is up and away to bring the count to 2-2. Staley not coming close with these last 2 pitches, trying to get Cy to chase after getting ahead 0-2.
I mean, I understand the philosophy. You don't want to give him anything to hit when you're that far ahead in the count, but now you've kind of dug yourself kind of back into a favorable count for the hitter.
And that pitch is outside to bring the count full on a nice patient approach here by Cy after slamming that ball foul to get to 0-2 to kind of settle yourself down and work the count full.
Doing a phenomenal job, doing a just great job to calm the nerves down and just make sure to get a pitch you want.
Yes!
And Cy swings through it, and that is another strikeout for Tanner Staley with the bases loaded. Back-to-back strikeouts of the 3 and 4 hitters.
It does not get more clutch when it comes to pitching there. Tanner Staley definitely doing a great job getting through the heart of the order here against the Dons. Like this is probably the Dons' best opportunity to be able to potentially get to Staley. You got Dylan Lee coming up, but man, to be able to get back-to-back strikeouts on Cowden and Nielsen is huge.
And the senior first baseman, Dylan Lee, now at the plate here in the bottom of the 3rd, and he swings through it for strike 1. He struck out back in the 2nd inning to lead off that bottom half. And he swings and fouls that off to bring the count to 0-2.
And Lee has not had particularly great swings so far in this at-bat. That one did not look good at all. Looks like his timing is just a little bit off, which Staley has done a phenomenal job of keeping these Dons hitters out of their rhythm and kind of out of pace.
And that ball is hit to the left side, and it will be an out. What a play by the shortstop, Hunter Stubbs, ranging to his right, making the play and getting them out of the inning.
Man, great play by Stubbs. Green dives at it from 3rd, misses it, but Stubbs is still able to collect it and makes just a fantastic throw over to first base, and he's able to get Lee out and able to get their pitcher out of a huge jam there.
And in the bottom of the 3rd, the Dons have 2 hits and no runs. They leave 3 runners on base, and a big opportunity wasted by the Dons as Staley is able to get back-to-back strikeouts and induce the ground ball to get out of the inning. And as we head to the 4th now here on SF-17, it is 6-0 Pineview.
Update.
Wild Mustangs. They're supposed to be one of the most gentle creatures in nature.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these. That's why more people save money by combining their home and auto with State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. We've had an exciting game here so far in the first game of the state playoffs here. It's the Spanish Fork Dons against the Pineview Panthers. It is currently 7-0. Pineview over
6-0.
It is 6-0. My bad. I've done some terrible math. And that is ball 1 there. Spanish Fork wasted a great opportunity there with the bases loaded in this past half inning, and Tanner Staley was able to get out of it. That is low there to Cody Riddle, first baseman for the Pineview Panthers. It's a 2-1 count. And that one is grooved on in there for strike 2. Nielsen working fast here.
And that pitch is just outside.
Yeah, just outside is right. That's certainly one of those ones that you know that Mason would have loved to have had that one be called a strike, but instead it works into a full count here to Cody Riddle. And that is another one that doesn't miss by much, and Cody Riddle gets the walk there, able to be the lead-off runner here in the top of the fourth for the Panthers.
Number 6, Dawson Staley.
That'll bring up Dawson Staley, the center fielder for the Panthers. Staley is 1 for 2 on the game, hit a single in the first and struck out in the second, as that one is shot out into center field, a little bloop single. Dons get that one back in, and we now have runners on first and second here in the top of the fourth for the Panthers.
A couple bloop hits now for the Panthers here in this game. They had a bloop double last inning that helped really open up the scoring and help them put across 3 in the top of the third, and another bloop hit here, and things are just finding the right spots right now for the Panthers.
Sometimes you like I said earlier, sometimes you get the breaks, sometimes you don't, and right now the Dons are not getting those. And that is cut through for strike 1. Weston Sampson, the catcher. Sampson is also 1 for 2 on the game. And that one paints the corner for strike 2. Nielsen's worked himself into a good count here, 0-2. That one is connected on, and Pintar makes a beautiful play over at short and then tags up second base, and that is the unassisted double play by the shortstop Andrew Pintar for the Dons. What a play.
And what a big double play there for the Dons. The last thing that they need right now is for more runs to come in. That ball gets over his head. There's still nobody out. Another run comes in, and there's likely runners on first and third. Instead, really a rally killer. There's 2 outs now, runner on first, but Mason Olson has a good chance to make a good pitch here and get out of this inning.
That one is fouled away by Luke Green. Green is the third baseman for the Pineview Panthers. A 1 count to him with now 2 outs in the top of the fourth. That one is low and away for ball 1. Nielsen does the pickoff move. Trying to keep Dawson Staley close by at first base. A little high and tight there for ball 2. 2-1 count here to Luke Green. That one just misses. That is going to be a 3-1 count now for Luke Green.
Yeah, Luke's done a nice job of working the count here and getting himself in a good situation where he can drive one somewhere.
Absolutely. Nielsen needs to be careful here. Throw it over to first again, trying to keep Staley close. Really just needs a quality pitch here. And that is exactly what he does, as he gets the swing and miss there for strike 2, bringing the count to full.
Second full count this inning for Mason. Panthers are again making him work.
Doing a great job, just making them pitched quality pitches. That one is foul tipped, gets away from him.
Dawson
able to stay alive.
Sorry, Dawson Staley was stealing on that pitch there, but since it was fouled back, he'll have to go back to first.
Always moving and grooving on that full count with 2 outs. Definitely might as well get that running start. That is strike 3. Nielsen is able to get the strikeout of Luke Green and able to get out of that inning unscathed. Obviously, that awesome double play by Andrew Pintar, and Mason Nielsen is able to get out of that one with basically no damage there.
Yeah, one hit, one runner left on base, but that big snow cone double play by Pintar kind of saved the Dons in that inning and helped them avoid what could have been yet another big inning, as they're already down 6-0 here as we head now to the bottom of the fourth, and the Dons bats really need to get going now.
Yeah, you know they do. They really have got to get going. They wasted that perfect opportunity in the last inning there in the third, and so they certainly would love to see more runners and be able to actually capitalize on those opportunities.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for today's game.
Yeah, we've got the Tony Basso Auto Group, the Dickerson Automotive Group, State Farm, Lance Wilson, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen, Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza.
Well, as we head now to the bottom of the fourth, Tanner Staley still on the mound, and other than those 3 batters to lead off the top of the third last inning, he's been pretty dominant.
Staley he's been fantastic for them. Like, he somehow able to get out of that bases loaded jam in the third. Just pitching pretty great here for the Panthers, and really kind of confusing the bats here for the Dons.
In the bottom of the fourth, the second baseman, number 23, Dylan Hall.
The Dons will counter here in the bottom of the fourth with Dylan Hall, the second baseman. Hall's one of the few bright spots so far in the Dons lineup. He laced a double in his first at-bat in the second inning. He's able to rip that one, but it is foul.
Yeah, a little bit too aggressive right there. That pitch is up at his eye level, and the fastball looks good when it's coming right at your eyes. It's very tempting to want to swing at it, but as a hitter, you have to lay off, but you're not going to be able to hit that ball anywhere.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Yeah, you're just tomahawking at that point, and that's just not going to get you anywhere. There's the 0-1 count here to Hall. Once again, rips it, but once again, rips it foul.
And that's been another story of today's game. Cy Nielsen's almost grand slam. Then he comes back and is able to strike him out and get out of that inning. And the foul ball has not been on the side of the Dons so far today.
He's able to check his swing on that one.
Yeah, barely holds up there.
Yeah, not by much. Hall is really ready to hack in this particular at bat. Staley's worked him into a 1-2 count. Gonna have to protect a little bit. Instead, he rips that one down the line, and that is once again fair.
And a leadoff base runner again for the Dons, and the start that they needed here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, that one looked a lot like his double there in the second. He's really able to stay back, laces it right down that right field line, and just what the Dons needed right here is that leadoff runner.
Yeah, Jager Crosby played a little bit farther to the right that time after he was able to double it down the line his last time, and he was able to hold him to a single this time because of that shift in the defense right there.
And that ball is high to the designated hitter, Josh Dart.
And that is 1-0 now to Dart.
Dart struck out in his first at-bat in the second inning. See what he can do here in his second at-bat. Takes that one for strike one. Got the bottom of the order coming up here for the Dons, but as we've talked about before, it's not exactly a snoozer. The Dons certainly have some capable hitters here in the bottom of the lineup. As Dart is able to slash that one right past the shortstop, and that is going to be a single. We've got 2 lead-off singles here to start off the bottom of the fourth for the Dons.
Yeah, the Dons are finally starting to figure out how to hit Staley here. Last inning, they started off strong, and Staley was able to get out of a jam, but you wonder if he'll be able to Houdini himself out of this one again. Still, nobody out. Runners on first and second after a single from Hall, and then a single from Dart moved Hall over to second, and now we have first and second with nobody out.
Yeah, this is looking just like the bottom of the third, but hopefully for the Dons it'll end in a different result. Hopefully be able to get some runs across here since they've been able to start off so well here against Staley once again in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, as we're getting later into the game now here in the bottom of the fourth, the Dons really need to start chipping away at that 6-0 deficit if they're going to have a shot to come back in this game. A reminder, these games are 7 innings in high school, so they'll have 4 more at-bats potentially to get these 6 runs.
Chapel gets a piece of that one, and it slices out of play for strike 1.
Chapel struck out to end the inning back in the second in his first at-bat.
Carson definitely wanting a different result here, especially since you've got runners on first and second with a potential rally here. Hopefully he can be a part of that. Instead, he swings through that one for strike 2.
Oh, 2 now. You have to expect that he'll cut down on his swing and really try to just put the ball in play here.
That would be the smart move, and certainly you don't want to potentially, hit into a double play here. So gotta be smart here. The 0-2. That one is outside for ball 1. Once again, Staley in a bit of trouble here, but he was able to get out of the bases loaded jam in the bottom of the third. Let's see let's see what he's able to do here with this potential jam here now in the bottom of the 4th.
Chapel has 3 homers, 6 extra base hits, and 13 RBIs on the year, so definitely has come through in a lot of big situations.
Very capable hitter in this 8th spot is the 1-2. He pops that one up. Third baseman gives chase, trying to find some room. He's able to camp under it, and that is going to be out number 1.
Yeah, nice play over there by Luke Green at third to record the first out of the inning, and that's a big out for Staley as he attempts to work out of another jam here in the bottom of the 4th.
That's a huge out. Be able to get that first out under your belt. Still got the runners on first and second, but now you've set up a scenario where a double play gets you out of the inning. This now brings up Riley Hess, the center fielder for the Dons. And that is strike 1.
Hess worked a walk to lead off that third inning, last inning, kind of their first big rally, but eventually fell short, but Staley was able to get out of the jam.
Shows bunt there. The ball almost get him over there at first base, but at the very least he keeps them close, keeps the runners from maybe getting too far away there for Staley. But an interesting choice there for Hess to be showing bunt.
Yeah, Riddle able to make a nice snag down there at first to make it so the runners aren't able to advance.
0-2 pitch, and Hess swings right through it for strike 3.
Yeah, 3 pitches, 3 strikes. That's about as quick as you can go down right there.
It is a model of efficiency. If you're getting a strikeout, that's the way that you want to do it. Just boom, boom, boom. Get him out of there. Bring up the next guy.
And again, Staley in a situation here where he, after giving up back-to-back leadoff hits, he has a chance to get out of this.
Absolutely phenomenal for him, as that is a 1-0 count now to Tay Newman, the third baseman and leadoff hitter for the Dons. Newman singled in his last at bat. And that one is also popped up. And that is going to be out of play. Moves it over to a 1-1 count for Newman. So once again, very, very important here for the Dons to potentially get at least one run here. With already in this 6-0 hole in the bottom of the 4th, they definitely need to get something going here. And that is going to be strike 2 to Newman.
And Newman in a hole here, and Staley is a pitch away from getting out of what one thought a minute ago was a potentially big inning.
Absolutely crazy. Again, he worked himself out of it in the 3rd, and he is a strike away from working himself out of it in the 4th. And that is exactly what he does as Newman goes down on strikes. And what an impressive outing so far here by Staley. You know, he's been in a couple jams here in these past innings, but somehow has been able to squeak his way out of it, and the Dons still haven't scratched across a run.
Yeah, the Dons have got to be thinking, man, we keep getting these runners on base. Last inning, bases loaded, no outs, and strikeout, ground out with a great play by Stubbs to end it at short, and then this inning, a foul out, and then back-to-back strikeouts gets them out of the jam, and the Dons still scoreless.
Still scoreless, but as we've said, it's 6-0 currently for Pineview. Pineview still up over the Dons as we head on over to the top of the 6th. Thank you so much for being here on Spanish Fork 17.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Wow. And we are back here in the top of the 5th inning as the Pineview Panthers lead 6-0. And a leadoff strike from Mason Olson to the 8-hitter, the senior left fielder Porter Dombrowski.
Dombrowski.
And a swing and a miss brings the count to 0-2.
Dombrowski hit a double in his last at-bat, but he's already in a hole here.
And he swings through it, strike 3, and that is a quick 3-pitch strikeout. Again, like you said, the most efficient way to do it, and just the start that the Dons wanted here in the top of the 5th.
Oh, absolutely. Nielsen's got to be pleased with that one. Just getting the ball across the plate and getting some swings and misses from Dombrowski. Nice start here.
And a leadoff strike to Jager Crosby, the right fielder. Crosby had a single his last time up, part of that big inning when the Panthers were able to score 3.
He was definitely a big part of that with that single.
And Crosby takes that up and away to bring the count to 1-2.
Crosby, the 9-hitter in the Panthers lineup. Would love to be able to turn over the lineup for him.
And Crosby just held up there to bring the count to 2-2. And that is strike 3 looking. Crosby goes down, and that is back-to-back strikeouts here for Olson here in the top of the 5th.
There we go. That's what he needs. That's what Mason needed. Definitely calming it down a little bit. Just throwing strikes. Make him swing at it, and that's exactly what he's done. Able to get the 8 and 9 hitters in the Panther lineup down on strikes.
And that pitch is low and in the dirt to the freshman shortstop Hunter Stubbs. Stubbs is having a nice day all around. He's got a single back in the 1st and scored, walked in the 3rd and scored, and we can't forget his defense as well, coming in the bottom of the 3rd with the bases loaded with that huge backhanded play and a nice throw over to end that inning.
Yeah, that was a big play. That was a turning point there for the Panthers to be able to get that particular defensive stop.
And 1-1 now here to Stubbs. And he takes that up to bring the count to 2-1.
Nielsen still in a good position here to getting out.
And that brings the count full.
Nielsen is now just a strike away from getting out of this one clean.
And he rips it out to left. And a diving effort by the left fielder, Carson Chappell, but he is unable to come up with it. And that is a stand-up double for Hunter Stubbs with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Stubbs continues to add to his already impressive day.
Absolutely. Be able to get now 2 hits on the game, had the walk as well. He's really seeing the ball well today, and it's unfortunate for Nielsen. Nielsen was just a strike away from being able to get out of this one clean, and instead we've got a runner on second, and once again, the Panthers could potentially get a score here in the inning.
Yeah, the Dons pitching the Nielsen brothers today. Yet to have a clean 1-2-3 inning, and even in the 2 innings that the Panthers haven't been able to push any runs across, they've really made the pitchers work and throw lots of pitches, and you can see them getting a little tired out there.
Yeah, you really can. You know, like being able to work them deep in the count, it gets the pitch count up, gets the pitcher tired, and then you get potentially some mistakes.
And he swings through it to bring the count to 1-1. The batter at the plate now arguably had the biggest hit of today's game his last time up.
Certainly one of the loudest hits, that's for sure. Lefemina definitely crushed that triple. It was beautiful.
And a ground ball up the middle, and that is a base hit from Lefemina, and Stubbs is coming around to score, and he will be safe. Another RBI hit and a 2-out hit in that, and the Panthers have just been so clutch today with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's really been the key to their success. Is, you know, sometimes when you get to 2 outs, you kind of freeze up a little bit and you don't swing as freely as you should. But man, they've done a really good job of not only hitting with 2 outs, but hitting with those runners in scoring position as well.
Yeah, what looked like was going to be a pretty quick inning with back-to-back strikeouts to start off the inning. Then you get to the top of the lineup. Stubbs doubles, Lefemina 3 for 3 now on the day with a walk, and really, really impressive. Elsewhere in the state tournament right now, Desert Hills leads Salem Hills 14-4 in the bottom of the 7th. So they are 3 outs away from winning their first game in the state tournament, moving on to that next round.
Damn, what an impressive way to win. 14-4, man, they are just putting the hurt on the other team. That's sad for the other team. That's what it is, but a great performance.
At the plate now, for the Panthers, the 3-hitter. Oh, and a pitch in the dirt gets away, and Lefemina is able to move over to second on that wild pitch. Tanner Staley at the plate now, as I was saying a moment ago. Staley is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch today, but it's not what he has done at bat today that's been impressive. It's been what he's been able to do on the mound that's really stood out.
Absolutely. Like, you can have a crummy day at the plate as long as you're pitching the way he is.
And that ball is in the dirt to bring the count to 2-1. And he swings through it to bring the count to 2-2.
Once again, Nielsen just a strike away from getting out of this inning, and boy, does he want this one. Just be able to get out of it with just the 1 run scored. That'd be big for the Dons.
And that pitch is low and in the dirt as it brings the count full. With 2 outs today, the Panthers have really been impressive. Unlike the Dons, when they've had opportunities with 2 outs and they haven't been able to come through, the Panthers have come through time and time again, and that's really been one of the big differences in today's game. A ground ball over to Tay Newman at third, throws it over to first, and Dylan Lee is unable to catch it. And a big error there by the Dons, and another run will come in to score on a sloppy play over there. And a bad throw by Tay Newman, the junior third baseman. Lee is 2. Yet another run, and that is 2 runs across now here for the Panthers here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, like, that one just hurts. That one just stings. It looks like Newman made a fine play over there and was able to potentially give themselves a way out of the inning, and instead he throws that one away, gets over past Lee at first base, and that is an error over there for Newman.
The Panthers now extend their lead to 8-0 here in the top of the 5th, and their lead just continues to grow as the Dons just aren't making the necessary plays today.
No, they're not. As we've been saying, sometimes the breaks just go the other way, and in this case, they definitely are not going for the Dons, even in terms of their fielding. Again, Newman made a nice play, but yeah, just overthrew it. Just an unfortunate throw.
Cody Riddle at the plate right now, the senior first baseman. Riddle is 0 for 1 on the day with the strikeout, but he has 2 walks. He's been a recipient of some of the Wild Dons pitching today. And that pitch is wild and low in the dirt to bring the count to 1-1.
Yeah, just as you were saying, that's a perfect example right there. Unfortunately, the Nielsen brothers have not been as effective at getting it over the plate as they usually are, and that has certainly led to a lot of opportunities for the Panthers.
And that pitch is hit high to right field, and it is drifting back, and it is off the wall, off the top of the wall, and another run will come in to score. Cody Riddle with the RBI double, and that will make it 9-0 here in the top of the fifth.
And an absolute blast there by Cody Riddle. He's able to get a nice hold of a pitch a little more up in the zone and just shoots it right up, and he hits the very top of the fence. Like, that did not miss by much, folks. That was right up there. I thought it was going out, and then all of a sudden it just hits the top of that wall and careens back into play. But still, that's a nice piece of hitting and a great double there by Riddle.
3 runs across here after back-to-back outs to start the inning, and Pineview striking again, and that ball is ripped to left, and it is over his head and off the wall, and another run will come in to score, and a nice RBI double from Dawson Staley there, as that extends the lead to 10-0 now here in the top of the fifth.
When it rains, it pours, Elliot, and that's exactly what's happening. Is the Pineview Panthers are literally raining the ball out there to the outfield. Dawson Staley able to get a great hold of that one, just launches it out to left, and man, it has just not been the best outings here for either Nielsen brother, and now you got the 10 runs up. That's a hard one here for the Dons.
Yeah, 10 runs now. If Pineview can hold the Dons scoreless in the bottom half, it'll be a 10-run rule through 5, but the Dons will still get their crack, but they got to get out of this inning first.
Yeah, they do, desperately.
And a strike to the senior catcher, Weston Sampson.
Yeah, Sampson was the one that lined into that double play by Pintar that he snow-coned and was able to touch second base. Certainly they would love for him to be able to repeat something similar, be able to create an out here.
And a foul tip for a strike to bring the count to 0-2 here on Weston Sampson. Weston is 1 for 3 on the day, singling back in the first. In his last at bat, he hit into that double play in the fourth, though, where Pintar made a nice unassisted double play there. And that ball is ripped up the middle, and that will be another hit for the Panthers, and it gets by Riley Hess out there in center. And another run will come in and score, and that'll be another stand-up double for the Pineview Panthers here in the top of the fifth.
And it is just a hit parade right now in the top of the fifth here for the Panthers. Weston Sampson now the third straight hit here for the Panthers, and it has just been a struggle here in this particular inning for Mason Nielsen.
Yeah, in the top of the fifth when it started, Dombrowski and Jager Crosby both struck out, and it looked like it was going to be a quick inning, but since then, double, single, error, double, 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 and so far this inning, 5 runs have come across for the Panthers. And this is the 9th hitter coming to the plate this inning as Luke Green, the junior third baseman, steps up, and he swings through it for strike 1. Mason doing a nice job here of getting ahead 0-2. He hasn't really been able to get ahead of many of the hitters lately, and more importantly than that, he hasn't been able to finish them off.
No, it's been a terrible thing. They've been jumping on him early. Instead, he gets the jump on Green here.
And Green swings at the fastball up and away for strike 3, and that will end the inning here, or end the top half of the fifth here, but not before much damage was done. 1 runner left on base on 5 hits, 5 runs come across, and as we head now to the bottom of the fifth, the lead has expanded from 6-0 to 11-0 Pineview Panthers here in the first round of this state tournament game against the Dons, and the Dons have a lot of work to do here as they need to score at least 2 here in the bottom half to stay alive.
And they've got to get at least something. They've got to get some kind of rally going, because with the 11 runs there, they're potentially going to get mercy ruled here. So we'll see what Pintar, Cowden, Nielsen, and the boys are able to do as they get their bats here in the bottom of the fifth.
If you're you're thirsty or hungry, we have concessions. Appreciate Hurricane High School and the Hurricane High School boosters running those for us. Drop by and get a cold drink, something to eat.
And we would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors now as we head to the bottom of the fifth. The Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, and Two Jacks Pizza. And as we head to the bottom of the seventh, we have a new pitcher out on the mound for the Pineview. No, we do not have a new pitcher. I am sorry. It is still Tanner Staley out on the mound.
Yep, still Staley. I mean, why change? I mean, he's still got a shutout going currently against the Dons here. Got four current shutout innings. He's struck out 6. I mean, he's just been phenomenal for them, able to get out of those big jams in the bottom of the third and in the bottom of the fourth. Hey, might as well ride your ace as you will. Let him go ahead and pitch this one out.
And that first pitch is driven out to right, and there's a nice play made out there by Jager Crosby for the first out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Pintar flies out to right.
Yeah, Pintar able to get a decent hold of that ball, but shoots it the other way, but it does end up landing in the right fielder's glove, and that is going to be out number 1.
Yeah, got a good piece of that ball, but just hit it in the wrong spot, and it's a quick out here in the bottom of the fifth. Ball 1 to Josh Cowden. Cowden 1 for 2 on the day with a single back in the first, strikeout in the third.
Yeah, Cowden's one that definitely has got to be a big part of this inning.
That brings the count to 1-1. Yeah, Spanish Fork needs at least 2 runs here to avoid the 10-run rule, so they better get going quick as they already have an out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Absolutely. Base runners are at a premium. Obviously, you still want to hit the ball with authority, but more importantly, you just need to get on base, whether that's a walk, whether that's just placing the ball somewhere. Just find some open field.
And that pitch is low as it brings the count to 2-1 now. And he holds up as that brings the count now to 3-1.
So far, a nice patient approach here by Cowden, working this count to 3-1. Got himself a nice opportunity here to kind of scope it out, find something that he likes, as opposed to just hacking away and protecting the plate. So hopefully Cowden does find that pitch that he wants and is able to swing with some authority here and get this going.
And he chases the pitch up and out of the plate, and that is a big mistake right there.
That's a huge mistake, going after that high cheese. Again, as you said earlier in the newscast, like, I mean, in the broadcast here, like, it's hard to avoid swinging at those high pitches. It just looks so pretty. It's coming right at you. You're like, oh man, that looks like a freaking beach ball. You go for it, and you always swing right under it.
And strike 1 to Cy Nielsen here. The last hope for the Dons is they need him to get on base to be able to get a couple runs in.
Yes, he is, and unfortunately he's had a rough day at the plate here. He's struck out both times he's been up.
And a ball out and away brings the count to 1-1 now.
The star pitcher of the game on the mound versus the pitcher for the other team that kind of faltered. Let's see what happens.
And a ball just away brings the count to 2-1.
So far, so good here for Nielsen, being patient.
And he drops it in there for strike 2, and it is now 2-2 to Nielsen as the Dons are 1 strike away from losing this game.
Hold on to your hats. Nielsen's really got to protect the plate here. Again, do anything you can to get on base.
That pitch is just away to bring the count full. Nielsen has worked a full count.
We'll see what pitch Staley has dialed up here for Nielsen.
And Nielsen just gets a piece to stay alive.
Yikes. Able to just get enough of it for the catcher to not squeeze that one. So he's staying alive, as the BGs say.
Two outs here in the bottom of the fifth. 3 runs for Pineview in the first, 3 more in the third, and then 5 in the fifth. Really kind of helped bury the Dons earlier in this top half of the inning.
Absolutely. They've just crescendoed into this fantastic lead.
And that pitch hits Nielsen, and there's now a runner on base with 2 outs here. Nice at bat by Nielsen to keep this game alive.
Absolutely. Was very patient, worked it to a full count, and then, you know, it's a painful way to get on base, but it is still getting on base nonetheless when you get hit. So nice job there by Nielsen. At least you're giving your team a chance here, and that's the most important thing.
Dylan Lee at the plate now 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out to short. And Dylan Lee pops it up, and it is foul and out of play for strike 1. Dylan Lee is having a very nice year at the plate, batting .339 with 1 homer and 13 RBIs.
Yeah, certainly a good producer in this lineup.
And that ball is deflected by the pitcher, and everyone will be safe. Dylan Lee hit a ground ball, kicked off the pitcher's foot, and deflected past the shortstop. And a little bit of a lucky break there for the Dons as they're able to keep this game alive as Nielsen moves over to second. Lee is now on first, and the senior number 23, Dylan Hall, the second baseman, now coming to the plate.
Yeah, it seems like all the breaks so far have been going to Pineview, but there is one right there. Able to squib that one off the pitcher's foot, able to kind of find that no man's land in between shortstop and third base, just enough to be able to get everyone to advance.
It looks like we have a pinch runner over there on first base now. With that run being the key run to avoid the 10-run rule here, it makes sense that they'd put someone in. And number 9, Bennett, is in there at first, pinch running now for the Dons, trying to avoid that 10-run rule here in the bottom of the fifth.
Absolutely, get some wheels there out there on the base paths.
And a leadoff ball to Dylan Hall. And if the Dons want someone up at the plate today who's played well, it is Dylan Hall with a double back in the second to lead off the second and a single to lead off the fourth. He's 2 for 2, and the Panthers have yet to been able to retire him today.
Yeah, Hall has really been in love with that right field line. Everything's been shooting over there.
And another ball to Hall brings the count to 2-0.
Nice patient approach here for Hall. Early 2-0 count. Get himself into a nice opportunity here to be able to swing at something.
And he swings hard and through the fastball as the count goes to 2-1 as Tanner Staley's continued to just battle and pitch well all day today.
Yeah, he's found himself in jams here the last couple of innings, and somehow he's still been able to put up a goose egg here for the Dons.
And that pitch is low and in the dirt, and he goes off a little bit too far, but he is able to get back inside Nielsen. A little bit of a dangerous play right there.
Yeah, a bit of sigh of relief there for the Dons. That Nielsen was caught a little bit too far off second base there, and there was a forward for a little bit of a throw that was a little bit off there. They may have potentially been able to pick him off there.
3-1 now to Dylan Hall after that pitch low and away. And Hall swings through it for strike 2 as that brings the count full. And again, the Panthers are 1 strike away from being able to finish this one off.
Staley is a strike away from a shutout. Again, I've been super impressed with Staley in this game.
Yeah, third inning, bases loaded, nobody out, able to get out of it with no runs. Fourth inning, first and second, nobody out, able to get out of it. And that pitch is just a little low, and that will load the bases here in the bottom of the fifth. As with 2 outs, the Dons are showing a little bit of resilience here.
This is exactly what they needed. They've got all the runners that they can on base here, but I mean, this is kind kind of old hat here for Staley. He's been in this place the last couple of innings. So, but man, for the Dons, this is so crucial. This is the at bat that's going to determine the game here.
And that pitch is very up as Josh Dart takes it to bring the count to 1-0. Dart is a .294 hitter with 2 doubles and 12 RBIs on the year, and if he's able to get a single here and drive in 2, then they can get a couple runs. And that pitch is outside to bring the count to 2-0 on Dart. Dart singled back in the 4th.
Dart definitely a good hitter, and he has worked himself into a good count here, 2-0.
And Dart swings at a pitch well outside and high.
Man, just chasing at something that I shouldn't be chasing on a 2-0 count.
And that pitch is up and away, and now it is 3-1 to Josh Dart as Tanner Staley's lost a little bit of control of the strike zone here. Hit by pitch, and then a single, and then a walk, and the Dons are... And that is a walk to Dart, and the first run of the game comes in for the Dons as they are finally on the board. The shutout is over.
That's an unfortunate way for it to end for Staley. Be able to have that be a walk, be the thing that eventually brings in the run. That is kind of unfortunate for him. But a big thing for the Dons because they still got tons of runners on base, still have an opportunity to be able to keep themselves in this game, give themselves some more at-bats.
Yeah, Dons have the bases loaded here. They finally got a run across on that walk, and that is the second walk of the inning along with the hit by pitch. So only one hit for the Dons in the inning on that ground ball that was kind of a lucky break that kicked off of Tanner Staley's foot. And we now have a meeting on the mound as
Have a pitching change.
the
Excellent job
Panthers
by
decide what to do.
Number 3, Tanner Staley, to be replaced by number 24, Cody Riddle.
Coming in for the Pineview Panthers, number 24, Cody Riddle.
Cooper Madison, number 22.
Staley will move over to shortstop, and Cooper Madison will move over to first base to replace Stubbs. So a little bit of a movement around the infield here as the Panthers try to get that final out and finish this game.
Yeah, bringing in Riddle. A fortunate ending there for Tanner Staley. He had really pitched a very, very good game, had done a great job of getting out of jams, but this is a particular jam that late in the game, you kind of don't want to necessarily keep the pitcher out there because he's been pitching all game, a little tired. Might as well go to a fresh arm here to get that last out.
Yeah, Riddle is arguably the hardest throwing pitcher on this team and has definitely been an impressive pitcher for the Pineview team all year. He has a 3.45 ERA in 7 appearances. He is 2-3, and his task today, get 1 out.
That's all you need. All you need is 1. It is a very hard situation to get that one with the bases loaded. Certainly not an easy situation to just kind of jump into the game here, but that is the life of a relief pitcher. You got to come in and got to be the one that puts out the fire, as you will.
The senior left fielder, Carson Chappell, is at the plate now. Carson is 0 for 2 on the day, striking out back in the 2nd and fouling out to the 3rd baseman in the 4th. And a first pitch strike to Chappell. And Chappell swings at a pitch low and away as Riddle is working quickly as he gets ahead 0-2, and again the Panthers are a strike away from finishing off this game.
They are so close.
And Carson started up and just held back there to bring the count to 1-2.
Boy, he's just ready to fire on these. He is just swinging all the way on each of these pitches. He is a big power hitter. He's tied for 2nd on the team for home runs, so certainly he's trying to belt it.
And that pitch is low and outside as Chappell is able to work the count even to 2-2, quickly falling behind 0-2 as Cody Riddle is working very quickly here. And that is strike 3, and that is the game. The Panthers are able to get out of yet another big jam and finish off the Dons 11-1 here in this first-round game of the state tournament.
Man, a frustrating game for the Dons, especially in the last couple of innings starting in the third. They had plenty of opportunities. They were able to get lots of base runners, but unfortunately just were not able to really get anything going on offense.
Well, for Elliot Sharps here and my man Andrew LaRose beside me, we thank you for tuning into today's game. A little bit of a tough one for the Dons, an 11-1 loss to the Pineview Panthers in the first round of the tournament. But a reminder, we'll be back at 2 o'clock against the Tooele Buffaloes over at the Pineview Field. So be sure to tune into SF17 at 2, and thanks for listening.